Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Gosh darn almighty. They let a freaking spy balloon go gallivanting about the entire gosh darn country, recording everything it wanted, and then didn't shoot it down for almost a freaking week. Heck, if they would have told any self-respecting Cajun, redneck, or hillbilly about that thing, the last image those spies would have seen is some good old boys with rifles in their hands and a nice chest of Budweisers at their feet. Gosh darn it, a balloon! We got punked by a daggone balloon. We've got to be better, America. And speaking of fellas who have to be better, this is Dave and Juan. Ball.
And 3.
Number 2.
1. Thank you. Hey, did you doubt us?
No,
Did you
of
doubt
course
us?
not, man.
I mean, I would have. America, if you had, I'm not gonna lie. Come on. But don't doubt us. We're here in America in advance.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. We made it back. We did make it back. I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. It's another
Who was the
Saturday
guy
morning.
that used to sing that song? Somebody's watching you.
Well, somebody's watching you. Somebody's watching me.
Somebody's
I always
watching me.
feel like
Yeah.
somebody's watching. That was hang
it
on.
could be.
That was
That was
Michael.
Gordy Berry's son, wasn't it?
Yeah, Michael.
But he
I
had
think
some
Michael
other name.
Yeah, it was Michael Jackson's. Was his brother-in-law? I think.
It was
Rockwell.
some-
Rockwell.
That's it.
Rockwell. Thank you. That's why you don't want to mess with me on 80s music trivia down at the or maybe you do, but yeah. And when that song just wrote its own jokes, like I remember one comedian said that years ago. It's like, who's watching Rockwell? Ain't nobody watching you, dude. And the only thing anybody knows from that song is the Michael Jackson part that he probably recorded in 30 seconds. He comes in and does the background vocals.
Mhm.
Kind of helps when the guy's the biggest star on the planet. He's going to come do background. Not quite as big as when Bryan Adams sang "Back Up a Glass Tiger" on "Don't Forget Me When I'm
Oh
Gone."
man, and I saw you going to see Brian.
I am going to see Bryan Adams and Joan Jett. Dude, I had to jump on that, and that's right down the street here in Sugar Land. If you started throwing out, okay, what acts would you like to see? That'd have been it, man. Only thing that would make it a better concert is if they somehow brought in Cheap Trick. Underrated. I love me some Cheap Trick, but
Well,
yeah,
I'm equally excited that the Psychedelic Furs are coming to Baton Rouge. So
really. So that's the is that the "Don't You Forget About Me"?
no, man, that's Simple
no.
Minds.
Oh,
No, this is
never
they did
Yeah,
Pretty in
never
Pink
mind.
that you would know, but it's Ghost in You and
Nah, don't think I was never a big Psych Furs fan. With the pretty, so they probably do like a 30-minute version of Pretty in Pink, right?
no,
Isn't
man,
that-
they got a bunch of cool songs.
Hey, look at you getting all offended and stuff, man.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I thought about you the other day where we were just scanning the channels at night. There's nothing. They had crap on TV, and we get to the I Want My 80s to play the videos, and I'm talking about some horrific videos. And then NXS Need You Tonight came on. I was like, that thing holds up today. Like, I mean, the visuals, the not so much the song. The song's not that. I don't really care for the
That was
song.
never one of my favorite. It was probably my least favorite
Right,
NXS song. ever.
Yeah.
And then it segues into Mediate, and
No, I'm not gonna go there with you, but
that's the part where
but,
he's flipping the cards on the video.
oh no, but it's a good video. Good. It held up. Now, speaking of good video, I know there's got to be one. I'm gonna only hope that Sam's Club somewhere, and you know me, I'm a Sam's, right? They ought to just give me. I ought to have a parking spot. They ought to. I'm just saying they ought to have as Dave's spot. As often as I'm at Sam's. So I'm driving. Yesterday, I went to we're going into Houston, so I said, let me make sure tank up my car. So I pull into, and I think I've said this before. And if Sam's I know Sam's corporate probably watches this podcast. So, they I think they got clued in. Like, yeah, we got a guy that one of our best customers has a podcast. So I'm pretty sure Sam's Club in Bentonville, Arkansas is watching this. So
As they should be.
that's all I'm saying. So first of all, you messed up your gas pumps, Sam's. Like they got rows of gas pumps, and then they got strict with arrows. They want arrows telling you they only want you coming in one side, right? And then but what that does is, I'm guessing 90% of the vehicles out there have the gas tanks on the left side of their vehicles, right? So there's literally lines of people waiting to pump gas, and at any given time, half the gas pumps are empty because nobody wants to park and try to stretch it over.
Right. You don't want that big hose on your car.
Okay, well, I don't follow those rules. I break those rules, and as soon as I do it, other people look at me like, "Oh man, that's what freedom looks like." Like whenever I pull into the Sam's Club gas pumps, I ought to put on Kid Rock, "Born Free." I was born free. I ought to just put the windows down and pull in with Kid Rock blaring, showing all these other people in line. We got 5 empty gas pumps, and you guys are watching a painted arrow on the ground like a bunch of little sheep. Pump your gas. Nobody. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I pull in, pumping my gas. I got it there. And somebody on the side of me, it's like a van. And all of a sudden, I hear splashing. And not like somebody spilled a drink. I hear like something pouring. And I put my head on this side at the pump. And this, and I'm gonna say a young lady. She wasn't young. She wasn't a kid. She was younger than me. That's a big gap.
Right. Big gap. Old enough to know better, I'm going to assume.
I don't know that English was her first language, but she had some, you know what I'm saying? It was one of these things. And she was dressed in attire that, how do you explain this? I would, and again, you don't want to just first impression, what she has on, both her head and her.
She's well covered.
Where she's from, there's oil. They've dealt with
probably
petroleum
lots
products before. Apparently, she's filling up the van, whatever she's in, and did not, had the hook on it to make it, just keep going, and then just pulled it out without turning it off.
Oh, nice. So
she's standing there with the hose, the nozzle, gushing gas.
Full flow.
I mean, just full flow. For those of you that have never seen that, dude, that's a pressurized, that thing's. and I look at her and I went, hey, I'm just like, what do you do? And she looks at me like, she doesn't know what to do. I go running around the pump, right? So, and I don't know how much she's poured at this time. And I'm not, I want to say, how do you, okay, things that go through your mind. The first thing I'm thinking, I'm looking at her other hand. Like, is this like, are we going to blow this puppy up? Because who does this? Who stands out there and just pours? I mean, it doesn't sound like much. You pour a couple gallons of gas out onto right onto the concrete around you, and there's a pool. It must have been about a 15-foot, but 10-foot, just growing pool of gas. So at first you're thinking, okay, nobody's this incompetent. They got like run, okay. So she hands it to me, and I'm fighting. Yeah, she didn't know what to do. So
for those of you not watching, my eyes just about popped out of my head.
So next thing you know, so she's already poured 2 things of gas in there, hands it to me. So I'm fighting with this thing.
And you're wondering, is she giving it to you so she could break out the lighter?
And be honest, hey, look, man, don't think for a second that I wasn't like, all right, because this is not. So I get it stopped. Right. And I'm looking down. I'm like, okay, I'm standing.
Are you covered in gas now?
I'm not covered in gas, but I'm like not far from it. I'm probably standing in gas. Okay. I mean, because like I said, bro, it probably pumped gas for maybe 15 seconds. And guys, I'm telling you, you can move a lot of gas. Okay. So this other lady in the car,
especially when there's nothing restricting the flow,
man. Right. So here I am standing at Sam's in a mini lake of gasoline. Okay. And I look up and there's this other lady and we're just pumping her gas. And she looks over like, thank you, God, thank you, thank you, thank you. And she's looking at this other lady saying, do not start your car. Do not. And we're just and so I'm like, okay. So I get
Yeah,
it
that's
back
a
on.
call the fire department type situation.
Probably should have been. So I'm like, okay, and whatever. And the lady said, well, there's an attendant over there. So let me tell you something. When I tell you that it would be hard to gauge how much somebody don't care about something, it's when you go find the Sam's Club gas pump attendant in the little booth. He's in there, right? And
that would be the example of zero cares.
Guy's probably in his mid to upper 20s. And I'm walking around. I have several people like thanking me, which is always where you want to be, right? You know, like I'm glad all you yawns out here would blow up and be on fire right now. All right, you're welcome. You're welcome, world. I got to walk, and we're in the far pub. I have to walk find this guy, and I just tell him, dude, somebody just poured a crap ton of gas. I should have been more specific with how much gas. I guess a crap ton of gas on the pavement out there. It's a hazard. You gotta. So he starts. Well, and he was, he started like, he didn't come running. You know what I'm saying he took his
wasn't a priority to him
to walk over there. And he's like, man, you wouldn't believe some of the people we got out here. And I'm like, okay, I believe you. Right. This is not where, and then we get there and he's looking around saying, oh, all right, I guess I'll get this cleaned up. And I'm like, what you going to do to clean the, like, again, that's gas. Maybe within
just sweep it around and spread the danger.
I mean, maybe within a few minutes, I guess it would evaporate. But I mean, that was a lot of gas. So I come back around, and that lady who just poured gas everywhere, she couldn't get the gas cap back on her vehicle. Apparently, she looks at me, says, "I can't get the cap back on."
So apparently, it was her first time at a gas pump.
I smiled and said, ma'am, that's the least of your worries. All right. That's the least of your worries. That gentleman right there in the yellow vest, I'm sure is going to help you. Got my butt in the car and the lady around, like I said, I just want to get in the car, close off. Like, okay, if y'all blow this up, at least I'm going to have a little,
Right. You want it to be in your rearview mirror.
And it was. And as I'm driving home, I'm smelling gas. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, man.
That's the bad part. I like the smell of gas, except when it's on me.
What?
Yeah, I like the smell of gas.
It's like you like the smell of a gumbo cooking until it's on you.
Yeah. So because then you can't get it off.
Till you show up in church smelling like a roux. But so there you go. So I guess
you are the hero of Sam's.
You're welcome, Sam's. You're welcome.
You might be the hero of South Texas. You could have stopped a major terrorist act.
Yesterday, I know. As it turned out, I just don't think she had the sense to do that. But also didn't have the sense to know how to turn off a gas. It's like, come on now.
Yeah, maybe she had been from Oregon or New Jersey, where it's
here's the deal.
Pump your own gas.
Here's the deal, kids. If you're ever gonna use the hook on the gas to do it, then that means you're gonna fill it up till it fills up. It will kick off, right? If you're only gonna put say $10, $20, $30 of gas, then you keep your hand on the right. That's you don't do that. But there you go. So I'm quite sure if it would have blown up, I would have made the news, but then I probably wouldn't be here right now. So
I'd be just waiting for that email to come through.
So is that wrong of me? I was thinking about that after. Is that wrong of me that it wasn't the first thought I had, but the second thought I had as I come around and I'm getting ready to take this gas, like, who's doing this? And it's a bad stereotype. It's a bad stereotype.
It was a product of the circumstance. You weren't sitting there watching the lady pump gas thinking, what if this woman pulls the hose out?
It was also what she was wearing. I got news for you. Back before things were politically correct, if you were watching 24 with Kiefer Sutherland, right?
One of the best shows ever.
And they'd have had somebody blowing up a gas station. This would have been central casting. This is what the artistic director and wardrobe would have said. This is who would pour out gas and blow up a gas station. But again, so Sam's, if you want to hit my card, a couple credits on there. I'm gonna leave that up.
Well, you cut the line, so they might deduct, make it an even swap on that.
Hey, you mean cut their profits by shutting the gas off? I didn't hurt their pump. I didn't do
no, because you're not following the arrow.
Oh, yeah, because I was born free like Kid Rock, dude. That's right, man. Free like a.
See, we didn't have these problems back when the gas pump or the gas tank used to fill it up from behind the license plate.
Cool, man, bro. You're talking about Andy Griffith days, man. You tell me you ancient without telling. Well, I guess they still have some old classic vehicles on the. Did that ever make sense? I guess maybe. I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, the gas tank is still in the same location. Maybe it's not. So. Maybe it's moved up. I mean, I guess it was a rear crash hazard.
And I guess over time, people just get accustomed to certain things. Well, it's all going back now. Like, so I've said this before. When I was a kid, probably, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that time. One of the vehicles we had was push button. Was a push button transmission. Right? I mean,
oh yeah, that's way early on there.
Right now, granted, it was an older car. It wasn't a new car. It was so, but it had a push. But I still remember that push button, and all the cars back then, down on the floor near the gas pedals or near the brakes was the for the brights. Remember, you had that little thing on the floor. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But now we've come kind of full circle because now stuff is going back to like my son's new car. It's a dial, right? You know, you park, drive, whatever. It's not. It's not not
a shifter at all.
No, it's just a dial, which makes sense. It's, you know, everything's electronic. It makes sense, but it's also
less moving parts, I guess, but more things to break.
Well, it's also you got to get used to that. You know, like a lot of times you used to like backing into something and you kind of got to make a quick move. You know what I'm saying? The things you do right now that you just do, like you throw it in reverse, you back out, throw it in the drive, you out of there. It's just that's that move. Now it's where's the dial? That's like when they made those cars that put the freaking horns instead of where every horn's supposed to be. I'm sorry, a car horns is supposed to be center steering wheel.
Yeah,
you pound that bad boy.
It makes the perfect hand motion.
Didn't that Ford Fairmont we sold to you one time? Wasn't the horn on the
like a push,
on the blink or something?
Right, like where the water squirters used to be. You just tap the end of the button.
We're real technical. The water squirters. Where the water squirters were, you know. You ever find out your car has certain features that you didn't even know it had? Apparently my car has what is it? Something on the back. You can, I guess, washer for the back. I guess that's not, that's not.
Those are always the hardest things to find.
And the point is, it's not like it's fancy. It's not like, I mean, you don't have to have a fancy car, but you know what I'm saying? It's the kind of thing you accidentally realize you have.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to do something else, and it's like, hell, spraying in the back of my car.
Well, we had a conversation last night. Joey and I went to dinner, and her car, I guess, is 10 months old. And she goes work out early in the morning, but I guess she gets there. There's a class that starts even earlier than the one she goes. And it's like in a little strip center, so it's got glass front, so she likes to park in the front. But when she turns off her lights, the running lights, which are LED lights, stay on. And she's saying, well, how do I turn off those lights? Because she doesn't want to shine the headlights into the little gym area. And it's like, I got no clue. I don't know if you can. I don't know if there's
you can, but you can, but you know what's going to happen, right?
You're going to turn them off, then you'll never figure out how to turn anything back on.
You're going to freaking forget, right? It's just like every time you bring your car in to get worked on, they always turn the lights off because they're inside garages. They don't want to, and they never turn them back to automatic when you get it. You don't realize that a lot of times until it gets dark and you're like, why everybody flashing their lights at me? Oh, because I'm that Cajun driving without my
you're that guy. So I had a guy talking about Cajun driving home the other day in massive traffic. Traffic may be moving 2 miles an hour, where it takes me typically 30 minutes to get home. Took me about an hour and 30 minutes. But so
congratulations.
There's a little space between me and the car in front of me, but a guy in a truck behind me starts blowing his horn, flashing his lights. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Here, I'll speed up and go 2 extra feet.
Well, you know what? So I don't know this guy, obviously. And I don't know what kind of day he was having. And I don't know if that space in front of you, Juan, was what you thought it was, because we all have this universal,
No, I'm very good on space, but still, if I pulled up if it was 4 feet instead of 2 feet,
Well, nothing dry. Yeah, I get very, very annoyed. And again, it's traffic, but when you're behind the person who the traffic moves, and then they it's like they don't want to accelerate again until they have at least 5 or 6 car distances. And what
I
always
think that's
happens?
people that's on their phone and they don't notice it.
Well, sometimes, and then
And
so
then
I
somebody
I,
will pull in and cut them off. And then,
I
yeah.
mumble until somebody cuts into that space. Then I start yelling, cursing, dude. Now, is that good for anybody? No. Who does that affect? Doesn't affect the guy in front of me. Doesn't affect the guy that just cut in. It's bad for my health, but you know what? I'm doing it anyway. I'm getting, because my son will get on me sometimes. But we don't. He drives himself now, but when he was younger, right? When he, be like, man, Dad, you get too upset for that kind of stuff. Shut up, you ain't driving.
Right.
You
Learn. So
don't want, yeah, this is how you drive. It's part of the driving process. You're supposed to scream. Supposed to scream.
Well,
Supposed to hit the horn.
I bought another car last weekend. I just bought a used Jeep. Yeah, used. It's a used. It's a Jeep. It's a Jeep Wrangler.
The Dave and Juan show adding, man,
That's right.
bro, we like hoity-toity every other week.
Yeah.
We got, we have car dealership stores to talk about. So you bought a Jeep.
Bought a
Is that
Jeep.
the-
It'll probably
is that
be
the-
Riley's. I got rid of my truck, but it'll probably be Riley's, and I'll get something else. My truck, I like to fix things myself, and it had gotten to the point where there's some things I couldn't fix. So, and I didn't think I'd trade it in, because I didn't think they'd give me, squat for it. Like, I'll
Right.
just keep it. I literally thought they'd give me $1,000. But so they tell me how, almost apologetically said, we can give you 3,000. So I threw the keys at him. And then he says, the airbag light's on. That means you have to change the airbags, and that's like $2,000. And I said, that means you got to change the airbags, bro.
Was this a dealership?
Yeah. They just don't sell it.
Oh, God.
Auctioneer,
And it's a truck, man. They can get that. That's the thing, dude. You can sell. There's always a market for trucks. I would buy one right now. I need a truck maybe 3 times a year. But dang it, when you need a truck, you need a freaking truck. So yeah, you go.
But then I told him, and once I'd signed the papers, I said, "Oh, by the way, the both catalytic converters on there are bad. It's about $2,000 for y'all."
Don't feel
And
bad.
I said the heater core was leaking, so I bypassed the heater, so it doesn't. I bypassed the heater core, so it doesn't have a heater on it either. So, go ahead and thank you for the $3,000. But anyway,
this was after everything was signed. I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, yeah. And we figured out he goes to my church, so I was trying to be, godly to him.
Well, he should know who he's dealing with. He should know. He goes to your church. He should know who he's dealing with. Yeah.
But anyway, so everything good shape, clean. But the second day I drive it to work, after lunch, somebody comes in and said, "Man, that your Jeep out there?" I said, "Yeah." They said the brake caliper is hanging off on the back wheel. So and for those of you who aren't mechanically inclined, the brake caliper is the thing that holds the brake pads, which makes the brake work.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah. So I call him and I said, "Bruh, got an issue over here." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, can you drive it?" I said, "Well, I could, but it wouldn't be advisable." I said, "How about y'all send a tow truck?" He said, "Okay, all right."
You want to give the name of this place? Because I don't know. Was it a used car or
it's a used car at a new car dealership.
At a new
Team
car
Toyota.
dealership.
It's a big dealership here.
They had to bring a tow truck.
Yeah, they sent. Well, I wasn't driving the thing with the brake caliper hanging.
Just go slow.
Yeah, that'll work.
Just go slow uphill. Yeah.
And all the brake fluid will leak out of the caliper that's hanging, and
Oh, now you're getting technical. I just think all that stuff runs on magic and fairy dust.
Well, but anyway, so it's at the end of the day, and so I asked the guy, the tow truck driver, I said, "Hey, bro, you think I can catch a ride with you?" And he said, "Yeah, man, no problem. Let me clean it up." So I'm gonna need to clean up the seat. This dude was like a hoarder in this truck, in the cab of this truck.
Man, I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him. He drives a freaking tow truck, man.
Right.
It's like that's sort of like your rolling living room
Yeah.
Why? He didn't know he didn't know he had to clean up his living room for the guy. Because here's what he never gets. He never gets anybody saying, "Hey, bro, can I climb in that garbage can on wheels?"
I'm fine. I can stick my feet on top of your stuff. No worries. But so then I get in, and you got to make small talk.
Did you tell him this ain't my first tow truck ride?
But I noticed my seat is, without exaggeration, a good 10 inches higher than his seat.
Okay.
And so I said, "What's up with your seat, man? Why are you so low?" And he said, "Oh man, this is like an air cushion seat, and the airline leaks, so it's sitting all the way down." I said, "Oh man, that's kind of weird." And then he goes in to say, "Yeah, and the strange thing about it is when this line leaks, the brake line also leaks. I got air brakes on here." So, and I don't know, I'm trying to keep up with the conversation. So I said, "Yeah, those people who design cars never have to work on them. So there are a lot of things that are illogical."
Yeah.
Granted, we're not 2 minutes into this ride, and he says, yeah, talking about that. So my wife of 20 years, we got 2 kids together. She just decides she wants to up and leave me. Talking about that, how does this equate to that?
Oh, that's when you say, apparently that was on your mind, bro. You just needed a reason to.
And so you're thinking, certainly he's going to package this up and connect it some kind of way. Nah, not even a recent event. Because then he said, yeah, after a while of that, I had a girlfriend like 3.5 years, and she did the same thing.
Oh, so he's recurring. So it wasn't like he's been through a 3.5
right. Since he's been through a 3.5-year relationship.
Something about a leaking airline led to, let me just drop this personal nugget on you. Since you're sitting in my squalor in the one working seat in the tow truck.
And I'm, it's how do you come back to that? Women, what are you going to do? I'm just like, hey, I hear you, bro.
Could have said, bruh, I got a buddy just stopped somebody from blowing up a gas station. I don't know what that.
So I'm sitting there trying to figure out, can I record this conversation for the podcast?
Oh, you should have, man.
I did.
You should have.
I did take a picture of the at least $30 worth of quarters that have been in his console so long they are now green.
Nice. I don't know that quarters on their own turn green.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's been some liquid.
Man, but listen, hey, look, let's be honest. I mean, it's a work environment. It's sort of like it's like a home office, right? Your home office gets right. You don't, stuff gets built up. It's a tow truck, so who only knows? But there, so you're riding here, and you got your 2-day-old. Well, it's not a 2-day-old, but your Jeep.
Right. That I bought 3 days ago, 2 days ago.
3 days ago. Was it at least the kind of ride they put it up on the bed, or was it
right on the bed where I should have just rode in it?
Yeah, it's not your own tires are still touching the ground as you.
No.
Yeah, those always. Yeah,
it's a flatbed tow truck.
So he told you.
Then when I got out, he gave me his cards in case I ever needed it again.
Dating advice or something, man.
Yeah.
So you're saying the guy is currently single and ready to mingle?
Single and ready to mingle. His dad gives him a lot of advice. I heard about that as well.
Dads are good for advice.
Yeah.
That's but two and right. That's interesting. So maybe his first wife or his only wife in this 3.5-year relationship. Maybe they did give him clues. Maybe the guy has listening problems.
Yeah,
right?
It could be.
And maybe an inability to pick up cues because somehow he thought you sitting in the front seat of the tow truck
seat up in the air,
talking about you're talking about equipment on a vehicle. Somehow that was a cue.
Right. This guy knows a little bit about vehicles.
Let me
And
tell him about
problems.
let me tell him about the mother of my 2 children and wife who walked out on me through it.
Right. I guess, problems with cars, problems with wives.
I don't know. Should ask him how's she doing now. I mean, since we're getting all friendly, right? I mean, like, you follow her on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she watch Dave and Juan? We'll give her a shout out.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So did you get it fixed? You all good?
Yeah. Oh,
You,
yeah. Yep. All good. They tanked it up with gas, man. They were all apologetic.
They laughed. They laughed. They said, you know what? You stuck us with the freaking bypassed heater and the all right. Touche, Mr. Semino. All right. Touche. We can
But
play
it is
that
nice
game.
it's nice to have a heater again. I was going to pick up Riley at swim this morning. I had my jacket sleeve opened up, blowing the heat up my up my arm.
Yeah, I'm glad. Because I thought you were going with the other A word. I'm like, there you go, man. Yeah, it's my son's new vehicle. And that's the other thing. We don't get cold here, guys. Well, this is the bizarro thing about, South Louisiana is similar, but it definitely here in the Houston area. We don't get much cold. Okay. But unfortunately, like once or twice a year or once every other year, we get like one batch of brutal cold that'll just kill it kills all the plants. Before I did the podcast, literally talking with my wife earlier about, man, we got to dig that up. We got to dig that, like you keep waiting for stuff to come back, right? Like it's brown, but hang on. I think I should be seeing some green by now.
And that's the whole thing. You got to worry. Do I trim it back now and let the new stuff start coming, and then it'll kill that?
I don't exactly.
Through the
I
cycle
don't know.
up.
I'm not a horticulturalist, even though I play one on podcasts sometimes. So, but anyway, so we've had a little bit of a cold bout here for the last. Not freezing, but cold. And it's kind of funny. So my son's new vehicle has a heated steering wheel, right? That's the kind of things you don't think you would like.
Yeah.
Until you get one.
Yeah.
Right?
Joey just discovered one on her car, again, 8 months or so old. And just discovered
like, wait a minute. Oh, it's kind of nice. It's like first world stuff, right? Man, do you ever have to go like start your car in the morning and go back inside? Because it's so dang cold.
Well, no, because I didn't have a heater for a while.
Back before you had to work in
yeah, I throw a blanket in the dryer for Riley. So
that's a good life hack there. That's not that's when you're driving her in your truck without the
no heat.
Dude, you know what I love about you, man? You do have some strong Cajun tendencies. You live in a gated neighborhood in an old pickup truck that doesn't have a heater.
Had heated seats, man. I would get to work some days in that thing and take off clothes when I got out. Like, this is too much to bring into the office.
Well, look, I used to have guys I used to work with for a little bit after radio, a job I had for just a little while. And a couple of the guys there would tell me, like, back in the early days, whatever company they worked for, they were in sales. And I guess the company car, whatever car, it might have been their car. I don't know. The car they used didn't have an AC, didn't have working AC. So they said you drive around in an undershirt or a regular shirt. Then when you go make a sales call, you get out and put on a shirt.
get dressed next door.
That is bayou, bro. That is bayou, man. I'm gonna roll up sweating in my non-air conditioned car.
Yeah. Keep a little deodorant in there.
Keep a clean dress shirt hanging in the back. Slap that thing on. After your sales call, you come on out. You take that bad boy off and hang it in the back of the. Look, man, making it happen. But well, good. Glad you're rolling. So when does she become an official driver?
Oh, not till the end of the summer. So
you
late August. So yeah,
you get to put the. So keep it out of New Orleans, man.
Yeah. I got to drive to New Orleans today.
Buddy of mine sent me. Really, what you going to New Orleans for?
My son's going flying out, so I'm just going to drop him off at the airport.
I got you. Okay, so you're not.
So yeah, I'm not going all the way into New Orleans, nor am I stopping for longer than about a minute.
Jeez, I know. I'm going to be in New Orleans. I'm going to be in New Orleans airport myself next week, but coming back I'm going down to Louisiana, and I didn't even realize I did this until I did it. Right, I was booking stuff, and I got some stuff I got to get done in Thibodeau, so I'm going to go down and drive and leaving a vehicle there, and then I'm going to fly back. Book my flight, trying to find what it is. Didn't realize I did it till I did it, and that's already booked. I'm flying for the Super Bowl. Like
Oh
literally,
wow.
I think my plane boards probably around halftime of the third quarter. But the other part of me's thinking, I was thinking, I'm gonna make the most of that. I bet you it's fun hanging out. I'll find a bar in the New Orleans airport. Or worst case scenario, I guess I just watch it on. It's not like in the old days where like you had to be around the TV to see something. It's
Yeah.
just on your phone. Yeah, there you go. YouTube TV. There you go. So, and I want both teams to lose anyway. So,
Yeah, I'm actually we're in Sulphur next weekend for a state swim meet, which goes into Sunday evening.
really, okay.
Yeah, so I'll probably I don't know, I may be traveling about the same time as you, but I'll be driving, so I'll watch it on my phone while I drive.
Just listen. Yeah, just listen. No, I'm not. I neither.
But I'm a bit indifferent. Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm beyond indifferent. I don't like. I actively do not like. That said, though, Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for the Eagles, is from the Houston area, so he's a local guy. He's a local guy, and I love his.
I'd
story.
like to see them win.
I love his story. I hate the Eagles, but I love his story because he was the guy who got benched in the championship game. People forget, Tua Tagovailoa, we can't say his last name. The Jalen Hurts, who had led them, I think, to a national championship, or
he led them to an undefeated season, got them there.
Yeah.
And got pulled in the second half or something of the championship game.
So, and then the next year they were going to give Tua the starting job. He went to Oklahoma.
Right.
He was a Heisman candidate. He didn't win the Heisman, I don't think. I think he was.
No, that was the year Burrow won it.
Okay. Yeah. True. Okay. So anyway, you go from you got benched in college to starting a Super Bowl in 3 years. So that's a good story. I hope that story.
Yeah, the Alabama parents Facebook page still claims him.
You can't do that. That's like Ohio State trying to claim Burrow. Sorry, you can't.
Yeah, he left you.
Yeah, he left you because you didn't want him. He was like Beyonce. Should have put a ring on it. Should have. If you like it, should have put a ring on it. But it doesn't always work out because you're a tow truck driver. He put a ring on it.
That's right. He put a ring on. Tried to put a ring on it twice.
3.5 years later, whatever years later, 2 kids later, she leaves him and his leaking air butt. It's whatever. Just is what it is. Well, we're talking about something that I guess involves air, or maybe not. It definitely doesn't involve leaks. As we do this, as we speak here, it's like a time capsule thing.
Right.
Those of you that are watching this, weeks and weeks and weeks from now, as we come to you today, there's a spy balloon
over our heads,
floating over. Is it over North Dakota or South Dakota?
I thought
Montana.
I thought they saw another one over, like Latin America.
Did they really?
Yeah, I saw that last night. I don't know that it's true or not.
I have not been. I was at a musical last night. I don't know. I will tell you about that later. But okay. So maybe that's But yeah. So they know it's as our former president would have said, China. He's from China. We've got a China balloon.
Apparently, we've known it for a little while.
Really?
We knew it before people on, just random folks spotted it.
You would kind of hope so. I mean, they do have planes that fly.
Yeah, I know we knew it at least was over Canada and coming in from there.
Did it come in through Canada?
That's what I heard. Again, by the time people listen to this or later, that may have changed. But like I said, you wonder who's the most disappointed that people realize what this is. Is it the government or the UFO enthusiasts?
UFO enthusiasts? How you figure that?
Thinking this could have been a real UFO.
No, they already told us they got real UFOs. That's how messed up 2022 was, right? We're in 2023 doing this, by the way. That in 2022, they basically admitted to us, they got some UFOs out there. We probably got some. We know some stuff and found some stuff over the years that we never wanted to tell y'all because So they basically admitted, we are not alone.
Back to this. Yeah. So I mean, are we going to take? It's a weather balloon, or it's just gathering data.
It's not they're not saying it's a weather balloon. They're saying
no, it's a research balloon. I'm sorry, just a research balloon.
Just happens to be floating over our nuclear sites.
Right. It's a
right?
polite way to say, spying in research, somewhat a bit of, that's true. They're doing a little research.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. So do we spy everywhere? Sure, we do. Of course, in the last few years, they spy mostly on us. That's we've sort of figured that out. So we've taken where we had these things before that, their job is apparently to spy, to figure out what's going on in the rest of the world, because they've been knocking it out of the park on that. I was reading something this morning. I forget who wrote it. It's basically saying, yeah, hey, let's go back and rethink about those Russia boycotts and stuff. Like they're basically saying, okay, 1,000% didn't work. 1,000% didn't work. In fact, it may have helped them. It definitely hurt us, but the experts were on that. But we spend billions and over the years, trillions of dollars on these departments that are supposed to pay attention to what's going on around the world, keep us on top of things. That's apparently now on us. Right. That's they're more focused on watching us. And yeah, I mean, it is bizarre because everybody in the country looks at each other like, are we okay with this? Like,
yeah, I saw something, and it could have been a meme. There's now all kind of memes about it. Whereas if this had been flying over Ukraine, do you think we'd have turned them down for $1 billion to blow this sucker out of the sky?
We'd have sent a diamond encrusted gold rocket to Now, granted, we have they have satellites up in space. We have satellites in space. So, I mean, the idea that major companies, including Russia, by the way, people go to sleep on Russia. Russia tends to be as advanced in space as anybody. In fact, they've got, but
well, the challenge is this is in your own airspace.
This is in your face. Forget, this is not in your airspace. This is in your face. This is who's your daddy, right? This is a who's your daddy move. And, apparently they are. Because everybody else looking around saying, wait, how is this even a conversation? Like we should have heard this. We should have heard about this as they were showing us. Hey, look at this thing we shot down. You believe that stuff? Freaking balloon. Can you believe that? They would have put a balloon over,
Yeah, I really believe the former president would have framed that baby.
Oh,
had it on display. It'd have been,
they'd have had it on the white
king of a Mardi Gras parade.
That's right. That would have been on the White House lawn. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this balloon. Can you believe that? Can you believe these guys? Balloon. Huge balloon. All right. But anyway. Well, there you go. So guys, we used to say this, months and months ago about the war. We didn't know if the world was because we were going to, but they're knocking on World War III too. I mean, that's the other thing. They got so much stuff. Again, I think about it. It's a good couple of weeks to talk about, broken brake pads and other things in life,
tow truck drivers,
than what's going on because so hopefully we'll be here going forward, guys. But so that I meant to tell you, I commented before about not bringing the vehicle to New Orleans because a buddy of mine sent me a clip, whatever, that it's so bad in New Orleans right now. There are certain models of, and I want to say it's Kias and Hyundais. And I didn't really read the article too closely, but it was certain models still have a key, still use a key.
There's something because I read those two models you can't insure, or a lot of companies won't insure them because they're so easy to start.
I saw like State Farm and some other ones, but it was like, okay, I thought that was only in Louisiana kind of.
Yeah,
deal.
It might be. It might be.
Yeah. That's how you know. That's how you know things are going swell. Things are going swell for where you live. When insurance companies are like, yeah, we really can't even insure these anymore because, the idea of not stealing a car is just beyond.
Right. You can't get a hurricane policy on a beach house in Florida. And you can't get auto insurance on a couple of cars, the models of cars in Louisiana because of the level of risk.
There you go. I think somebody sent me, was it 700 something? Is it up to 700 something thefts? No,
7,000.
No. I'm just talking about like this year so far.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
by the way,
it's
we're doing this
several
the
a
first
day.
week. We're doing this the first week of February, guys.
Right.
All right.
Right. By
Yeah.
mid-January, it was like over 400.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
you said, you got to figure I could sit in a car somewhere for an hour and watch a
Pay-
car theft.
No joke. No joke. Just pay. That'd be a good side business right now.
Yeah.
Just pay me to sit in your car while you go party. All right.
Boy, I hear you.
You know what? I got nothing to do. I just watch, just watch. Okay. Hey,
I drive around every now and then.
had to laugh. Other big breaking news on the bayou. I'm thinking this is on the bayou. I'm pretty sure. Because my cousin Brent he has a restaurant in he had something called Etouffee to go. And I see some of the little commercials on Facebook and stuff. Good food. And I know the food. I know where it comes from. Good stuff. So shout out to Etouffee to go. And then on the bayou, y'all, on the 308 side in Cutoff, it was the Boil and Go. And I'm not sure what they renamed it. I'm not sure if they renamed this to Etouffee to go or whatever.
It could be the etouffee to stay.
Could be. But you can they serve lunches. And then they also you can get yourself some ball shrimp. I mean, I'm sorry, it's a ball crawfish. The crawfish, recommend the crawfish. But anyway, he sent me, printing up the menus, right? So, and this is a bargain. I mean, I might have to talk to him about. Okay, I see what it is. $15.50. That's not bad. So one of the menu items is Dave and Juan's famous weenie spaghetti.
Bruh.
There you go. There you go. So,
I don't know what's a better deal. The fact that it's named after us or that this dude's got a good weenie spaghetti.
Man. So I got, look, even gives you the ingredients. He says, well, here's the write-up on the item says, there is not too much these fools know. That's a good line, right? That's on a menu. That's on a freaking menu. On a freaking, you got to love relatives, right? Let me take a shot at it. There's not too much these two fools know, but they know weenie spaghetti. So this one's going to has a homemade tomato sauce, smoked sausage, and hot dogs served over penne pasta with a side of potato salad. Bruh. That's what I would call that dish.
So if I go down the bayou and go to this place and say, hey, I'm Juan, will I get comped a weenie spaghetti?
That'd be your kind of move. You'd spend $25 on gas to drive down to Cutoff and say, hey, right here. It would suck if they wouldn't, huh? They wouldn't know who you were. You may know me. I'm on the freaking menu.
This is what I would do. I would ask, what is this? Who are Dave and Juan?
Tell me about it.
So I expect your wait staff to be equipped with the knowledge.
Well, man, let me tell you something, man. So, but these are my kind of dishes. I mean, like I said, this is my kind of, so there's a Pape shrimp etouffee. Sounds great. There's Dave and Juan's. We personally recommend, right?
Every time.
I don't typically do penne pasta, but that sounds okay. That sounds like,
hey, that's a little fancier, man. He's trying to match our style.
Now, what I would do, like I say, he doesn't say this with the hot dogs, but man, if you want to do a legit, Dave weenie spaghetti, you got to put in there the cheap hot dogs with the red dye.
The one that color the water red when you boil.
Yes. I mean, that's like a legit, weenie spaghetti. You don't want too much.
Oscar Mayer or some famous Nathan's hot dog.
This would be sort of like an emerald version of a weenie spaghetti, but wholeheartedly, and the potato salad on the side, that's a good move. Dude, you know what else they serve on one of these days? Miss Sue's liver and onions. If you like liver and onions,
That's a local favorite right there.
they keep coming back for the liver and onions. I always, whatever. I'm not gonna go. I'm not a liver person. Some people love it.
My dad would tear that up.
Tear that up. You need, when you're down there again, we'll line it up, dude. We ought to go do our 100th episode in Cutoff.
Right.
We ought to do it at whatever.
We can see if we can work that out, man. You'll be down there.
Well, I'm not exactly sure, and I gotta find. I don't know why I'm blanking out on it right now, but I know it's the Boil and Go, right? And I don't know if he changed the name of it or whatever, but I promise you, whatever they name this place, even if it's got a new name, on the bayou, they're always going to say, yeah, the old Boil and Go. Whatever they call it now. That's the other thing about Bayou Lafourche. Once something's got a name, that's it. It's going to be used to be. Yeah, what used to be the radio station, it's something
Right.
else now.
Right.
My favorite was when they added whatever the highway it was behind LA1, and that was the new road, right? So it started at South Lafourche Bridge, and the one near the high school, and it went down toward Golden. That was the new road.
Oh, the new Mississippi River Bridge in Baton Rouge opened in 1968.
It's the new bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. My favorite thing, I think it was my friend Raleigh that said this because my wife still laughs at this. So there's the new, we always call that road was 30 years old or 20, whatever. That's a new road. Then they actually finally finished it. They actually kind of finished it from South Lafourche up toward La Rose. You know what that road's called?
The new road extension?
No, bro.
The new road.
The new road. It's a new road. You got the new road, and you got the new road. Because that was my friend was telling me, oh yeah, no, I got something, whatever, on the new road. The new road? What's the new road?
Okay. I got a friend who has a dentist office in Thibodeau. You know where it is? The old pit stop.
Old pit? No.
Not Pit Grill, not Pit Stop. Old Pit Grill. I'm sorry.
But I heard Pit. Pit's all I know.
Yeah.
Pit. I can tell you where it's at. I don't have to, right? Anybody in our era says, yeah, that's where that thing's at. So anyway, we also got some shrimp and grits here on this thing. I'm getting hungry, man. I got but there you go. So shout out. Also saw he sent me some shirts they're having made, and one of them I really like. I don't know if you've seen it. Like it's got a crawfish on the back, and the slogan is "Chicken of the Ditch." I like that. Give me a
well. If you want to head down there, man, I could do it.
We'll talk. I got us good. I'm gonna be in Thibodeau. We've never done this on the same. I don't even know how we would do it. Like you and I have been doing this. This is episode 99, y'all. So we got number 100 coming up, and I'm actually going to be in Louisiana for number 100. But I don't even know how we would do it. We'd have to just film each other like sitting at the same table. You know what I'm saying?
We could
like,
be in a different room,
different table.
It could be like the news. They do that on the news sometimes. Now out in the and they're just right across on the.
Or standing outside
right. We got to be far enough so we don't get feedback on the mics, but
or standing outside for no apparent reason. That's always my favorite.
Yeah.
That's always my favorite. The poor reporter that's like, really, did you have to tell us about you're standing outside pre-dawn on a cold morning and it's all dark behind you. You could have done that from the studio, babe. You could have, you could have flashed, could have showed me a Google map. This is where we're talking about right there. You don't have to be there, but they don't let us run that stuff. So we don't know. So we did let's see, we're going down the stuff here, the balloon, going off the went to a musical last
You
night.
went to a show last night, you and your wife, I assume. It was Chicago,
No, you assume wrong, man. We had a manly outing, me, my son, and my brother-in-law. We joked about that. So he was his birthday was a while back, and we'd said I would go to like a football game, or his birthday present would be, and it didn't work out, and we're just like really into
next best thing is a musical.
Yeah. Well, he's a band director, so he's and then my son does theater
Your
and
son's
stuff.
right.
So we joked about that last night, like, parking at the hobby, the parking lot, we're manly men going to see musical.
Did y'all skip a seat between y'all?
Oh no, not for what these seats cost.
No, I know.
Not for what these seats cost. I mean, these were, that's just the time we're living in, man. It's like, golly, you kind of look, you just don't look. You just don't look, walk in there, and we had stopped waiting because my son was knocking off of work. So we just told him, look, we're going to pick you up from work.
Mm-hmm.
So, my brother-in-law went and have a couple of beers and, all, cool, casual, get down there, fight some Houston traffic, get in there. And you get to the venue, and man, I don't know. People just lost their mind, what stuff costs. Once you're in a place where they got you, it's like an airport. They got you, right? You're in this, whatever. So, and it's not like they have a great beer selection or anything. So I'm like, give me, and that's when they always fake you out too. Beer drinkers out there. So, and there's almost no selection, and it's going to be the tall metal cans. They make it look like, oh, bro, you're getting like a 16 ounce or a set. You know what I mean? Now they're knocking you back for $12 for that, right? $11, $12 for the beer. And I made the mistake of like, give me a, I don't want to eat beer. Give me a wine. I'm being sophisticated, right? Give me the best thing you got in a box, right? Give me a wine. A nice guy says, would you care for, you want the regular or the large? Hey, come on, man. Come on, man. Give me the large. I'm not even looking. Give me a large. You know what? Hello.
I'm not a wine drinker, but isn't that a show? Yeah, isn't that a, when wine comes in small or regular and large, isn't that a sign of
it's the kind of pour you want? I don't know, dude. But hey man, you ask a Cajun, bruh. Give me the big one. Why are you wasting your time? I'm insulted that you looked at me and said, would you like the dainty cup of wine or the more manly cup of wine? I'm like, give me that. Or glass. I'm sorry. We're sophisticated. Give me the, and I promise you, bro, it's it's the cheap, whatever they do. You know what? A wine costs? $21. $21, man. $21 for right. And
that's about what that, that's got to be more than whatever the container it came in.
Oh, you kidding me? But hey, there you go. So sophisticated, but it was all, and that's what I was joking with. But with my brother-in-law and my son, it's like, look, man, you can't come to these things and then just be like, hey, this stuff's expensive. No, trust me, it's you signed up. We signed up for this, but saw Chicago. It was good, man. It was good, really good. So this thing called Tuts Theater Under the Stars, and they do it in They do it. I don't know what the Houston connection is. Houston and New York, and it's it's legit. It's like,
was it outside?
No. That's funny. I guess it must have started that way. No, it's inside the Hobby Center. Yeah. It's impressive as all get out. It's full. It's amazing. And I was reminded, I made comments about that watching it, that like I admire. Like we talked about this before. I don't even care if it's music I don't like. I don't care if I admire talent. You just see people go, dang, man, human beings can do some impressive stuff, and it's just really, really good. So and the play is, it's funny, big sold out crowd, huge place, but it's good. It's good. Of course, truth be told, so my son, it's my brother-in-law, my son and me sitting there watching. I got this old, I should say this old lady, but she was older, obviously older. Man.
Older than you.
Wait, that's saying something. Even she was older than you.
Okay? Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. So nice. And she's there apparently with her daughters or granddaughters or whatever. And she's sitting there. And you kind of walk in and like, hi, and I'm just sort of, before the play starts, right? You just sort of like, sorry, you could be sitting next to me for the next, I'm just kind of joking with her, and had my wine. I had my $21 wine, and trying to figure out, okay, whose holder is this? Like, is that
yeah.
I said, I don't want to take your holder now. I don't know if that's yours or I don't know how this works. And, she was, oh, I'm not sure. And, the daughter was joining, granddaughter joking around and stuff. I'm like, yeah, sort of like when you sit down at the table, whose water glass is whose? And
yeah, and I never remember.
And I just kind of funny. I thankfully she laughed. She got the joke. I just looked at her and said, now listen, if you're going to drink my, if you forget and you start drinking my wine, just drink on one side. I'll share it with you.
This is my side right here.
Right. You just hold it, you just drink,
you got some lipstick on, it'll probably mark it.
That's right. So, I mean, I'm okay. If you're going to, I'm a Cajun. I'm going to share it with you, but I'll just drink on one side of the glass. Okay. But no, it was all good. It was all good. And then on the way out, we were talking about, being impressed with people that can, that's the other thing, by the way. I got no idea who the cast of Chicago, the show that's showing here in Houston, but man, they are jacked. I'm talking really? Like when I can tell 6-pack abs and jacked from, and I'm not talking one, like the whole cast, except a couple of characters that are supposed to be old, frumpy, whatever. But like the main character, it's like, I don't know.
Well, I've never seen Chicago. Are they shirtless, or you could just tell from that?
Do they wear well, like one of the guys has like
this conversation is taking an odd turn.
Hey man, hey, we're manly men. I can tell I'm a manly man. I can hear the lawn guy cutting my yard outside. I have just lost so much. I've just lost so much man cred in the last year. Somebody else is mowing my lawn. But anyway, and then I'm going to musicals, but no, they wear, it's like mesh and stuff they wear, but you can just tell. that, and and the women are just like,
Yeah, like I don't have to take off my shirt for people to tell that I don't have a six pack. I guess it's kind of the same thing.
All right. Yeah. But all that jazz. It was good. But I joked about it after, about the first musical I ever went to was Cats. Remember back in the day, man, in the 80s, that was huge. Like people, and I kind of kidded about, people joke about that, but I remember it's the first time I'd ever been to it was at the Sanger, and it was the first legitimate live, authentic Broadway touring production I'd ever seen. And I didn't want to be there. I didn't there's this person I was dating at the time, and I'm like, let's go. And I can remember just being like, damn,
yeah, I'm like
blown away.
Whether I would, I don't know how to say it. I just appreciate the talent and enjoy the talent, whether it's, I'm not an opera fan, but I have been to an opera or two and enjoyed the talent it takes to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And my thing with Cats is, and I told it to my son, I said, Cats basically became the Nickelback of Broadway.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's good. It's good. I'm sorry. They make fun of it now, but it's actually pretty, it's one of those things like, oh yeah. It's like, yeah, that's why it was the longest running, made more money than anything ever.
But didn't they do a movie version of it?
Which was apparently horrible.
Terrible.
It was apparently horrible, but there you go. So guys, just let it be known that in the 99th episode, we talked about Chinese spy balloons and musicals and Weenie spaghettis.
What else could you ask for?
I don't know.
It's the buffet.
I don't know. Well, that's what I was going to say. We're just knocking down the things we had to go through today, man. That whatever. Oh, here's an interesting one. I saw, I go down the bunny hole sometimes, and I guess once Facebook identifies you for, right, I guess you hit whatever algorithm. Like I've been seeing ads for the musical Chicago non-stop for the past 3 or 4 weeks. After I bought the tickets, by the way, I already bought the tickets. Okay. That's sort of like the car dealership we bought a car from a couple 3 weeks ago that emailed me during the week. Hey, I just want to let know if you're still looking for a vehicle and whatever. I'm like, because apparently I'd hit their website one time and I'm like, dude, I literally bought one from you last week.
Yeah. Apparently you're whoever's keeping your email program up to date.
We good for now. But I'd get all the top 40 stuff and whatever. And apparently I clicked on, and this is great. It's like flashback stuff where they talk about old TV shows and the TV guide ads for it. And you just forget, and it's always interesting. Like one of these was for, and this was kind of sad because Mickey Rooney was one of the biggest stars ever, right? Mickey Rooney in the day, we wouldn't know that. And then as he got older, we always pretended he was still funny. They'd roll him out because I guess, same thing like Milton Berle. I think Milton Berle may have been funny for 2 years out of his life, and he lived to be like 112. And
those weren't any of the years I was watching him.
Right. Like Milton Berle, especially, and again, he couldn't have been as old when I was a kid. I guess
humor
funny.
changes, because that whole "Take My Wife, Please" thing was funny at some point in time.
Oh, Henny Youngman, yeah, but he's better. But Milton Berle, never. And Rodney stayed funny for a long time. But anyway, I remember this. They came out, and it was a TV show. I guess it was based on a Broadway thing. It was called One of the Boys. So that was the. So just reading the Broadway. When Mickey becomes his grandson's new roommate. Boy, that's a comedy right there, huh? That's unique. He just wants to be one of the boys, especially when it comes to the girls. Okay. So gross, right? This is Mickey Rooney probably already in his 70s, 80s, whatever. But the cast is what got me. So the cast, and of course it didn't work. It didn't last, right? So he played whatever. The cast was one of his grandson was Dana Carvey.
Oh, wow.
Okay. The roommate or the other person was Nathan Lane.
What year was this?
I don't know, like 19. I got to pull that out, but it was okay. So Dana Carvey, Nathan Lane, his friend was Scatman Crothers, who, okay.
I know Scatman. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who Francine Beers was, but one of the other people, not even like in the ad, Meg Ryan. Wow. It's amazing. Like you kind of forget like people that become like massive stars and you just go back saying, so that's some piece of crap sitcom that didn't even last a few weeks. that had Dana Carvey, Nathan Lane, and Meg Ryan.
Yeah, whoever was a talent scout for it was good.
Nailed it. They had the wrong guy leading. Let's bring this old guy that, it'd be funny. Let's make Grandpa fall down. That'd be funny. That's always good humor. But no, that, and I saw something the other day, and I almost sent. I couldn't. I'm not real good at it. It might have been. I don't know if it was Instagram. What I was looking at, and it was a clip from. It was either from All in the Family, or the Jeffersons, back in the day, and it was about a 4-minute clip. And dude,
was it the one where they were calling each other names?
It was the one where Archie is apparently at some house party or whatever, where Lionel.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Lionel's I guess fiance, or girlfriend, her parents, right, meet the Jeffersons for the first time, and Archie and George been doing a little drinking. Dude, first of all, hysterical. I mean, but they wouldn't. This was on TV. They wouldn't do this in a movie right now.
No,
like literally, like nobody in Hollywood would say, which just kind of tells you how sucky we are. We're sitting here.
Keep in mind that on Netflix now, one of their parental warnings is smoking.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah.
That's so. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. We all.
That was when people had a backbone, man.
Man, no
that
joke.
Was some funny stuff. And Carroll O'Connor was liberal.
Oh, he was horrible liberal. Carroll O'Connor was.
He was the equivalent of Meathead. Yeah,
in real world,
probably had some good conversations.
Same thing with Ed Asner. Ed Asner of Mary Tyler Moore show and everything. I mean, that guy is a crazy liberal. Okay, but
I'm acting.
And it's funny. And I mean, look, you have to watch. People, y'all can Google this stuff, guys. Find out because we
Sanford and Son, another one. Go watch some old clips of Red Fox, and the Puerto Rican neighbor.
Oh yeah. Oh, was it? It was so stereotypical. Was it? It wasn't Julio. Who was it? It was. I remember the guy's face.
Yeah, I don't. It might have been Julio. No, I don't think so. But yeah, it was. Yeah, a stereotypical name.
Yeah, man. But I tell you what, that scene plays out. That scene was great, especially when he says something, and Archie says, "I haven't said that word in 3 years," or whatever it was. I was like,
yeah, because he was predicting what somebody was going to call.
That's right.
The mother.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna like, oh, Jefferson, you're gonna love this. I gotta watch. Anyway, so there you go. Old guy. So what have you established? Milton Berle was probably never funny, and I don't know. Maybe my mom or one of my aunts or somebody.
Archie Bunker and George Jefferson were.
I bet you can't even find episodes of that. You know what I'm saying? I bet you they have bunny holed or hidden those. Like, can you find?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's not on the same station that like Andy River comes on and stuff.
The fact that you can't even say the words they said. And this was not when it was like, Netflix or whatever. No. This was broadcast TV.
And I'm not.
And everybody watched this stuff. These shows are massive.
Oh, right. That was right. I'm not promoting going around picking up those words, but it's, who was the Florida, University of Florida recruit, college or quarterback recruit that got booted because he was, had a video of him singing.
Somebody else's song. Yeah. So I don't know when that's gonna, here's what I'm getting ready to say, right? I don't know when that ends. Dude, we got a spy balloon from China floating over us right now.
Yeah.
You know what? But you know what, China, they're smart enough. They didn't float that thing over like Dulac or Pointe-au-Chien or, hey, take that down. Figure out a way to take that down. I know guys that are pilots. Right now, guys that got their own little planes that are pilots right now.
They probably got guys down the bayou who got surface to air missiles in the bed of their truck.
That or at least take shots. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I
might not hit it, bro, but I'm gonna try.
But they're gonna know. They're gonna get video of me shooting it. That's for sure. But anyway, so we'll see. So hopefully, hopefully everything will still be around next week, and I won't have to save another gas station from blowing up. And
Exactly. We don't want this to end at 99.
hopefully you can avoid riding in a tow truck again. But if you have to, ask for that guy.
No, I got his card.
Follow up. Say, bro, you made the podcast.
Since you clean that seat off already.
You made the podcast. But anyway, push the button. Let's get on out of here. See if any of this stuck to the magic tape in the sky. Y'all hope it did. If you want to reach us, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. We do get around to them. We really do. And by the way, before I forget, I actually wore a couple times when it cold my Louisiana sweatshirt that our buddy gave us.
Because this is the shirt he gave me.
There you go. Shout out. So I it was cold, man. I went for a walk. I'm like, let me put on my Louisiana, my thick Louisiana sweatshirt with the mountains and the deer on it.
Gene sent me a video clip this week from Saturday Night Live that features. It's a bit about that kind of makes fun of Texas and my favorite chicken finger restaurant, Raising Cane's.
That's right. That's good stuff. Go out,
thank you,
Gene. And see that. But anyway, so reach us if you want to. You can find us everywhere. You found us this time.
Wherever here is, there you are.
Yeah, really.
Or you might be able to find us at Dave's Cousin's Restaurant in Cutoff.
There you go. And it's the old Boil and Go. It might be the new Boil and Go. Could be the Etouffee to Go. I know Etouffee to Go is on the north side of the lake. That's where the Fonfon fancy people are. They bring good bayou food to the Fonfon fancy people.
Yeah.
And then
they like to pay more for it.
Let me tell you something. You gotta have nerve and guts and know what you're doing to run a restaurant in South Lafourche, because everybody cooks. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to hey, all right, I know you can do this stuff yourself, but hey, there you go. Well, I'd live there. I'd be there all the time. They get tired.
I'm good for it.
They'd make the weenie spaghetti every day. I'd be adding, hey, you know what you need?
Well, if you got a little mustard mix in your catfish seasoning, call me.
Oh, bro. Well, we can consult on that stuff. We'll consult on that stuff. Anyhow, so there it is. We're not sure next week what's going to happen. We're going to do. We're going to be mobile.
We'll be somewhere.
I'm going to be in Thibodeau for a while. Juan's going to Sulphur.
Smelly
nice.
sulfur.
There you go.
In an Airbnb house with my mother-in-law and my father.
Bro.
My mother-in-law who likes to talk, and my father who doesn't really hear well.
Good times. Yeah. Good times in Juan's rented house, and I believe I'm impressed they have that in Sulphur. But anyway.
Yeah, the house might be in Lake Charles. So.
Shout out. Anyhow, have fun with that. We'll figure it out. All right. Until then, everybody, it ain't a suggestion. It ain't a hint. We're not subtly implying Jack right here. It's a freaking
mandate, bro.
Freaking mandate.
Get out there. What it ought to be to blow up that balloon. But
yes.
It's not.
It's not. Our government's dropping the ball. They're not having a great week. You have.
That doesn't mean you can't.
That's right. Start to the best hour. Again, you're welcome.
Just served it up.
Make it a great day. Make it a fantastic week. Take your best shots. You know what? If life knocks you down, get up, bro. Get up. What you gonna do?
Something to look forward to, because number 100 is coming next week.
What you gonna do? Don't sell it too high, because we might be busy.
Yeah.
It
might have to take off for that one.
It might be a bad internet connection, distracted episode, but that'd be good. That'd be good. I might do it from the back porch in Thibodeau again.
That's right. Maybe we could go by the dentist office at the old pit grill.
There you go. Live from the old pit grill. All right. So yeah, there you go, man. Get out there. Have a fantastic best week of your life. That's what we hope for you. Until then, everybody, be good. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. We have the half days on Friday, which is like a great thing. But the problem is if you take off on Friday, you got to use like a full 8 hours of PTO.
So you would normally only have to work 4
hours, but if you take off,
take the day off,
they make you take 8 hours.
That's some boss math right there.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna probably do is go in for about an hour and make an appearance, and then leave.
Glad your boss doesn't watch this.